Well, your questions have been filed, and it is time to ask the men who mean so much to us for these last 50 years. Please welcome to the stage the current and previous members of Yes!
Awesome, man. Great job. Thanks for doing this. Welcome.
I'm going to pull this out of the holster and get the hell out of the way. Slide it in there. Slide it over. Right in there, Patrick. I don't know about you, but my heart's racing right now. To have all of you together here to celebrate Yes's 50th is just beautiful, just beautiful. Your fans are here, and they've got some questions for you, and we're going to start with, wait a minute, let's get these mics in hands. Set one over this way, and here, you want to hold on to that. We'll just pass them around. First question, two-word question. 2019, relayer? Yeah! Steve?
We say maybe, baby. Maybe? Just maybe, baby. Yeah.
Okay. That's not a no. It's not a no. Since you got the mic in your hand, Steve, someone wants to know which of all of your recordings, and that's many, brings you the fondest memories or the most joy?
That's an impossible question because there's no one single thing that you do that's great, you know. So things mean a lot. Like I'll choose Turn of the Century. That was an epic recording. That was a totally epic experience of arrangements and developments and involvements and, you know, sections that each in their own way were kind of different, but they fit together. What about you, Alan? You were on.
Which one was that? Going for the one. Yeah, that was an incredible span of 8 months. I think we were there in Switzerland. We ski in the morning, not being a good thing for a drummer, to go in and record in the afternoon. I could have broken my leg any day, but it was a lot of fun. We had a great time there, best food in the world. And Christopher was living a life of luxury, eating at the best restaurants, it was just a great time and a good feeling in the studio. And we made adventures into recording by having Rick in a church 10 miles away and recording parallels with us in the studio. It was pretty incredible. We had field telephones to talk to each other, so pretty incredible. Thank you.
That is incredible. That's what you call remote broadcasting or remote recording, huh? Someone wants to know, they say that they love that you added the flowering creativity of life to Leaves of Green. Whose idea was this? And they say that they love Tales of Topographic Oceans, obviously.
I think Steve and I were just sound checking one day, and we thought, let's try it, right?
I didn't know how to play the thing because it's very obscure. So I'm like, okay, John, well, look, I'll take this on, but give me a break here. Let's do it.
Yeah.
We have Tony Kaye with us today. Tony, it's good to see you. You've been hanging out all day. What's been the best part of today for you with all the fans here today at Yes Fan Fest 50?
Say that again.
What's been the best part for you today with all the being here?
Oh, the best part.
Hey!
No question. And of course, Joey's band was fantastic too. No experience necessary. Took me back a long way.
I have a question for you. What are you busy with these days? What are you doing these days?
Who, me?
Yeah,
Tennis.
Good. That's it. Here's a question for Jay. The time you've been playing with
Tennis.
tennis, he likes.
right.
Well, that's why you're sitting next to each other. You're going to fit that in before the set tonight. I want to know what has been the most memorable gig for you playing with Yes so far.
I think that was in London, the 2 shows that we played in London recently. Yeah, it's fantastic, just amazing. And these 2 shows are actually great too. Still got 1 to go, but it's fantastic. Thank you all.
For John, if you had not become a musician, what career do you think you might have taken? What career path, shall we?
I haven't really thought about it. I can't imagine not being a musician. Surfing. I would probably try surfing.
Or maybe playing tennis with Tony. Alan, talk about your experiences playing with George Harrison. Which tracks are you on All Things Must Pass, and which ones are you most proud of?
Oh boy. Do you want the long or short question?
What are you feeling? Steve
it was, quite an incredible experience. George Harrison was one of the best people I've ever known in my life. He was the nicest guy and made everything comfortable you ever did. And it was, same as John. He said, Alan, whatever you do, keep doing it. And My Sweet Lord and all that kind of stuff was really just a great pleasure in the studio to play. And the atmosphere and the Eric Clapton and George and just the general vibe was incredible. And that's what you hear when you listen to the record.
Yeah.
I hear it in every groove. For Geoff or Trevor, what was it like to go from being like a new wave band in a new wave band to becoming prog rockers and then later becoming prog rock icons the way you have?
Well, it wasn't the most popular decision at the time. Yeah, they did the music mags called us Yeggles and all sorts of things, BS and all this sort of stuff. It was I mean, Trevor will probably tell you, it was difficult for us coming into a band like Yes because, this was the almighty musicians band, and once we got involved with the guys, it seemed very natural, and I think that we stepped up to the plate, and the other guys stepped up even further to the plate. And Trevor and I were talking about this yesterday, that I think that the Drama album saw the other 3 guys really playing, incredibly beyond imagination. And so we were very privileged that we were sort of carried along by 3 other guys who were really playing absolutely out of their skins. And I think it worked in the end, and a lot of people still really like the Drama album.
Pass that down this way because I have a question for Trevor. From the work you did on Drama to producing 90125, what were the challenges, the different challenges in those 2 projects?
God, that's a question. Yeah, very short answer. Yeah, Drama was kind of a lot of fun, if a bit surreal, when we were making it, because we started off with Eddie, and then Eddie went, and then after that, not because Eddie went, but we kind of gelled a bit, and it became really good fun. Touring, I remember the night before the first gig in Maple Leaf Gardens, for a kickoff, we rehearsed for 2 weeks. We never got through the set once because Chris's shit kept breaking down all the time, man. And so we never got through it. At one point, there was a crew mutiny where I think Claude, who was Steve's roadie, fired Chris publicly on the, on the public address system. And the night before the first show at Make Believe Gardens, I went to a Chuck Berry gig with one of the people from the tour. And I looked at the stadium and I said, is tomorrow night as big as this? And they said, nah, it's about twice the size. Oh, God. I couldn't believe it. But then it's funny, when you get up on stage, it's a bit like, it's like being, I always remember the first night, just about everything that could go wrong went wrong. Chris's all of his stuff broke down. Whatever, at one point during Tempest Fugue, it went on, the intro for Tempest Fugue went on for like 3 minutes. But, but it was very different because the Yes that I produced was actually a different Yes to the one that I was in. Obviously, John was in it and Trevor Rabin. But it was lucky that I had been in the band because I could kind of guilt trip them and drive them nuts if they wouldn't do what I wanted them to do, because I'd been in the band.
A producer's got to do what a producer's got to do, right?
Sometimes, yeah. Anyway, there you go.
Could you pass over to Patrick? Right there you go. First off, thank you for your wonderful performance this afternoon. It was a lot of fun for all of us.
Thank you.
A big day in Yes history, especially here in Philadelphia, was in June 1976, the concert at JFK Stadium, which most of us were at.
That was the 12th of June.
Correct.
1976, and it's the first time I wore this necklace, which was done in Brazil by the cousin of the mother of my daughter, but it has a history. And everybody, every day, I meet at least 3 to 5 people, at least, who say, "Oh, that's an interesting necklace," and so on. What I can say is that the buttons are 1,500 plus years old, and they were on. It's a long story, but that's what I'm not going to go into that. It's not only about. Maybe I'll tell the story at some point. In my Yes, I'm Moody book. Thank you for your question, and thank you for let me be your instrument this afternoon. That was really encouraging. Thank you. And I got to say that I got to thank everybody in the band as well, because these guys are absolutely unbelievable. I'm telling you, for Steve Howe to have composed co-composed and composed all this music on the guitar, and the way he plays now, and all this repertoire and so on, and the precision, as a genius. I mean,
agreed.
And playing with Alan and so on, and hearing also John Davison now reaching those notes with that kind of emotional output is absolutely fantastic. And I love playing, of course, with Alan. I remember when we were, for example, for the beginning of Sound Chaser, which was...
The problem is you always ask me to play Sound Chaser every time I see you.
I love stuff, the banter, that's good.
And Tony has always influenced me greatly with his organ playing already. I hadn't seen him or re-met him since 49 years yesterday. 49 years.
All right, our next question is for you, Bill.